lovely place to have a dump. What a view. Morning everyone. No, it's not even morning, is it? Down there, so it's nice and charged. Right everyone, I am going to the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre for Motorcycle Live. Oh, there's a lovely little Airbnb we're at. This is in Wales though. It is 1 o'clock, so we're not going to get there until gone 2, I think. 71 miles to get there, so probably about 2:30. And the reason for that is because it's the first day of the NEC opening, so it's going to be really bloody busy. I didn't really fancy walking around with a couple of thousand people. I thought it normally dies off in the early afternoon. It did say that there was an hour and 7-minute delay on the M6, so if that is the case, that's going to be not very fun. Right, I'm going to go and enjoy these roads, so I will see you guys in a bit. And welcome to the neck. I don't like it saying Honda. Okay. Nice bike, mate. Oh, that was what's his name? I can't remember his name. He came to my ride out. Oh god, my bikes are so good in here. Right everyone, welcome to the NEC. Everyone's looking at me weird already. Got a bit of a plan of action. I don't really want to do, I don't know whether it's stupidly noisy, I don't know if you guys can hear, but we've got a few bikes I want to see because they're new for this year. And then I think at the end of this I'm going to do a bit of a top adventure bike, top big bore adventure bike, all that kind of thing. So first one I want to see is the new V-Strom 800DE. It looks like it's just over here. I quite like the 1000, but the 800 needed an update in my opinion, because, well, let's go and look at the stocker. If you look over here, this is a 650, and we've got no TFT. It's a pretty basic bike, 9 grand on the road, which is quite a bit to be fair. This is the XT. On the XT model you get the nicer rims, wire wheels should I say, you get the hand guards and a few other bits, and then we've got the new 800 DE, I think it's called, yeah, DE. This is essentially halfway between the 650 and the 1000, so we're 84.3 horsepower. It's very small, I'm not gonna lie. You've got the wheels on it, which is really good. Same sort of thing you get on the 1000 as well. You've got 21-inch front wheel, and then you get the nice little TFT. The headlight, I'm not too sure whether I like that headlight. It's basically taken straight off of the new bike that they brought in this year as well, which is this. This is the new GSX S, which is a little bit transformery on the front, but I quite like it. It's got the little wings on it, little winglets, a little bit of forged carbon all over it. There's the 1050s headlight, and then if I bring you over here, this is the new 800DE headlight. So it's quite nice, but I just prefer the 1000s. Next port of call, David. Next port of call. You're going to get a shout out in every single video, David. Disappointment number 1 of this year. I know some of you are going to hate me for saying that, but it's this Transalp. The new Transalp. I'm not going to lie, it looks lovely. It's a lovely looking bike, but didn't really try very hard in my opinion. This is a brand new 2023. It's not even been launched yet. The price isn't even on there. But it's a Transalp 750. I think it's a slightly new engine, but I don't think it's that much different, if I'm completely honest. I think it's very similar to the 750 engine that you get in the NC 750 and things like that. Why is it a disappointment, Sam? I mean, yes, it's got a 21-inch front wheel. Yes, it'll be lightweight. Yes, it'll be quite cheap. Yes, it's Honda and it's reliable. But it just looks like a CB 500X. No? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Does that not look like a CB 500X? Yes, okay, it's 90 horsepower, but for me, if you saw that riding down the road and you didn't know, that just looks like a CB 500X. I was so hopeful for this bike, so hopeful. Yeah, I mean the little TFT is quite nice. It's all those flashing sport mode at the moment. Let me find a CB 500X. I will show you what I mean. Granted, this bike's smaller, I get that, and it doesn't have the TFT, and it's only got 50 horsepower, 45 horsepower. Tell me, that doesn't look exactly the same. Bearing in mind that's got cast wheels and not 21-inch front wheel, whatever, but for me that is exactly the same bike. Almost identical panels and everything, which is a real shame. I think they just could have made it look, I mean, the Africa Twin's come a long way. Look how cool this looks now. I think that looks really smart. And then you look at the Transalp and it's just a bit of a letdown. These bikes are really good, the NC750Xs. Emma's got one. It's got 27,000 miles on it and it hasn't missed a beat. Something else that's really disappointing about the Transalp and the V-Strom is they don't have cruise control. Like, how can you market a mid-weight adventure bike without cruise control? Yeah, okay, most people won't use them for really long trips, but come on, cruise control is so easy to put on. Oh, these are cool. I love these. New little DAX ST125. Love that. Crazy Horse Customs, love those guys. Not gonna lie, the CCMs, in the last year or so, these CCMs have come up a long way. I mean, they are bloody expensive, but the size of their stand this year is almost like tripled in size from last year. So fair play to them. Right, BSA, Kymco, in the nicest way. I'm sure they're great bikes, but I think I've excreted some more interesting stuff than Kymco's. Ducati. First bike I want to look at, which I really like, is this beast, the new Desert X. I think it looks really smart. This year they've got like a new black scheme on it, black paint scheme. I'll put it on screen if I can't. Well, there's not one here, and it looks really nice. The only thing I don't like is on the back of this you can get like rear tanks, which basically give you a little bit extra range and you can swap between the two. But without it, I think it looks like two different bikes. It looks like a really big front end, and then the back just looks like a motocross bike. I don't know, really nice though, really nice. I think it's going to be a big bike. And then also, not going to talk about it too much, but this, the new Diavel V4. They finally bolted the V4 engine into a Diavel, which I think that's going to be an absolute beast. It's very bulbous though. Even that back looks really bulbous, but I like it a lot. And then this just gets a shout out because it's black and orange and grey, which just looks absolutely filthy. Oh, orange Brembos. That's the Street Fighter Lamborghini edition, I think it is. Another bike that's worth looking at on KTM is the new 890. Not a huge amount upgraded, but they've changed the bodywork so it doesn't look as, well, here's the current 890. You see you get quite a big like gap in the headlight. So you've got like a bit of a weird angle between the headlight and the fairing. So what they've done this year is they've just put this extra fairing in. There's obviously some more changes, but I think that makes it look way better. Before we even go anywhere, Thornton 100s, WFB2, 300 horsepower, supercharged bobber. Absolutely sublime thing. Look at some of this work on there. That's just beautiful. Even the small touches, just like this rear chain guard, so nice. Sweating. Just want to go and say hi to these guys really, because I like them a lot. Rich is over there. I always love when you come to custom fit guard stand. There's always just someone getting their ear impressions taken, leaving the seat there. It's quite funny. I really like these CF rides. They look way smarter than mine. They've just come a long way. Being honest, I think really they're super exciting on BMW stand. The only thing that would be super interesting is that beast. M1000R and M1000RR. Basically the same, but then they're just bolting wings to everything nowadays. There's a shed load of carbon on that thing. Look at it all. Jesus. Got the BHP guys up here. BHP UK are literally as you walk in, which is very nice. But yeah, lovely to meet you. I'm gonna crack on. See you soon. That's the first guy that's actually said hello to me, that he loves my videos. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Brand new R1250 RS. I said it on my Instagram story. I don't know if you lot follow me on there. That R1250 RS has got to be one of the best middleweight sports tourers on the market. But that's the only problem with BM. This is on the road from 13, and by the time you've actually got the one you want, it's 17. But yeah, very, very nice. Nice little upgrade. Best bike in the world. Let's have a quick look at the option 719 packs on the Beamers. I really like that. That's a nice. This green and white. Which is really nice. The things they do with the R9T and the R18s. Look at this thing. It's orange and black, which is obviously clearly the best colour. But I just think that kind of style looks really cool. Look at the wheels. Look at those. Tiny little indicators. Titanium high cut headers. Oh, looks so good. Look right along the bottom there. Really, really nice. We've got another one, full Acra, blacked out. Lots of time for that. Yeah, very, very nice. Custom jobs on those look great. I'm going to do my top big bore adventure bike, my top middleweight adventure bike, my top middleweight sports tourer. You don't really get many big bore sports tourers anymore. They're all adventure bikes. Top naked, top super naked, and then my top up and comer. I know, pretty interesting, right? So to start that off, we're going to go bang in the middle with my top middleweight sports tourer, and it's got to be this, the brand new Tracer 900 GT Plus. I really like what they've done with this. It was only released the other day. It's basically the same bike, but they've done away with that horrendous two-part screen. Here's the standard. You've got this horrendous looking split TFT screen, which, I mean, I like that they tried to be different, but no, they've added in this new one-piece screen, which I think looks really smart. The other thing they've done, which is big news, right in the middle there, radar cruise control. Good move, Yamaha. Really, really impressed. Love it. I think that is going to be a real big seller for this year. Current GT is 13 grand. This will be probably 14, maybe 15 at a push once you've spec'd it up, which for a sports tourer, absolutely everything you'd ever need. Really, really good. It's also got the electronic suspension and all sorts. So that is definitely my top middleweight sports tourer. So next one, my top super naked. It's got to be this beast. You'll know it's coming because we're walking over to KTM. It's got to be this, the Super Duke R Evo. So it's essentially just the Super Duke with electronic suspension from WP. When I rode this bike, that's just fantastic. Like, for a super naked with 180 horsepower, you sit there going, there's no way it can be usable daily. And it's the 1290 engine's known for being a bit of a aggressive lump. It's so comfortable, it's so usable, it's so like dailyable. And now it's got the electronic suspension, so it's actually usable all the time. Like, really, I just think it's fantastic. Best big bore adventure bike. Well, I don't even need to say anything. Shitloads of power, electronic suspension. You can ride it like a knob. It's also an absolute beaut in town, and it's not 25 grand like the Ducati is. I won't bang on about the Super Adventure because I know you guys are used to it, but that's definitely my big bore adventure bike. Even with the new ones coming out, I still think that's the best one. You want to know why my Super Adventure is top over the Ducati V4? Let me show you. Don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, but that says cash price 20,651, which is many money. Top middleweight adventure bike has got to be the Tiger 900 Rally Pro, not the GT because cast wheels and it doesn't look as good, but this Rally Pro here. I really like the colours they're coming out with. You'll know it well because obviously George has got one, my dad used to have one. Plenty of power. You cannot beat the amount of tech you get for the money in this. It's like 14 grand and you get so much on it. Heated seats, fog lights, upper crash bars, the works. It is so good. I think they're probably changing up a little bit. So you can see now it's actually 13.5 on the road. For the money and the amount of bike you get, it's got to be the Rally Pro. Right, next bike, and I think the best middleweight naked bike, it's got to be the new Street Triple RS. The one thing I have to say that I'm really impressed with, looking at this stand from Triumph last year, there was no colour. It was all greys, blacks, whites. Yes, okay, it's still not as bright as KTM or even like BSA or anyone like that now, but they're starting to get a few of the colours coming in. We've got the orange, and then we've also got like the blood red. I'm like quite a distance away from it, so I'll see if I can get in there. A few small upgrades, and I just think that looks really, really nice. Lovely colour. And then yeah, the bright orange in the background. One thing that's worth looking at is this, the Moto 2 edition, which, I mean, come on. Do I need to say anything? Look at that. So the difference with the Moto 2 versus the standard one is this has the clip-ons. So it's got the clip-on handlebars. It's slightly more aggressive. Everyone's giving me such weird looks. I'm not used to this. Now we've got a bit of a toss-up here between the bikes that I think is actually the top up and comer. So we've got two potentials, which I think a lot of you are going to sit there and go, no, I don't believe you, I don't think you're right, blah, blah, blah. But we're all going electric. I don't care about being electric if I can have my Super Adventure or a Super Duke or something stupid for the weekends. If I've got a commute on an electric bike and drive my car being electric so I can have a toy one that's petrol, I don't give a shit. This is the Energica Xperia, which is their new touring bike, which I think looks really nice. It's got a nice little TFT in there. It looks like it's got a decent amount of wind protection. It's got 100 and something mile range, 120, 140 mile range. They're taking the screen out so I can't actually tell you. But I think it looks really smart. I think it looks better than the other one that I was going to bring in, which is the Zero DSRX, which again, another adventure bike. In fairness, you're not going to buy electric if you're going for an adventure bike, but as a commuter, as like a sports tourer, weekend kind of blast bike, you want to do about 100 miles, maybe a little bit of off-roading or whatever, don't see why not. I think it's a lovely bike. I think it's definitely going to be something that will get better with time, something that you will like kind of, they will come down in price in time, get better ranges with time, considering the old kind of adventure bikes with this kind of style, which I just think it's just a 125 with a load of shit bolted to it, isn't it? That kind of style is not for me, but this is definitely more my style. It's a bit beefier, a bit more weight to it, a bit more sort of substance to it. So this one with the crash bars, the panniers and all sorts of stuff, and the little fog lights. I think that looks really nice. Now the only thing that isn't nice about Zeros or Energicas is the price. 29 grand for that DSRX, which is not fun. Go and say bye to Dave and then shoot off. Chris North over and Neil Hawker? Can't remember his name. I follow him on Instagram though, so you know. Everyone's just like, what is this fucking weirdo doing? Oh, is that Dave bending over? Oh, I was going to lose my Insta360 there.
Big black hole.
This is Dave Ashpole. He's a bit of a bellend like me. And he also crashed his BM.
Snapped a BM.
Snapped a GS in half. So if you see him on my comments, feel free to mug him off as much as physically possible.
As I've said to Sam, you've got a year's worth of abuse, then it stops.
What's really good is he doesn't know that my microphone's on my chest. So you wouldn't have heard any of that. Well, I've got to go. But yeah, good to see you.
Have a safe ride home. Don't be a dick rolling home.
Anyway, yeah, I'll shoot off. Safe one. See you later, mate. Who is that? Is that Neil Hawkins doing a burnout on a GS? Fair play. Right, that's it. I'm going to go get my jacket and ride home. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in next week's video.